Hello and welcome once again to Edu Star Food Journey. Today we are diving into something new, something that a lesson you are going to enjoy so much. Just pay attention and let's begin. I believe you must have been taught how to pronounce the following words: principle, word, market, bucket, lesson, lamb, psalm, of, mother, and so. But I believe there are some words nobody bothers to teach you. Words that you use on daily basis, words that occur in your daily speeches, words that are very much important if you must say a thing each day. And these are the following words. Those are the words that I'm going to teach you how to pronounce correctly and also give you the transcriptions and some analysis on such words. Let's go. So we call them commonly daily mispronounced words. These are but a few we are bringing out. Number one is women. Number two is bath. Number three is price. Number four is blood. Number five is king. Number six is sponge. Number seven is story. Number eight is regime. Number nine is worm. And 10 is price. So if you feel inspired by this lesson, please drop a comment on how you feel in the comment section. Let's continue. So I'm going to give you the IPA transcriptions as shown here. Number one is women. Why do we pronounce it women? How is it transcribed? Look at it in the box here. You can see the way it is pronounced right here. Just this spot that I emboldened, that I zoomed up. That is how it is pronounced, women. Not any other pronunciation you might have been given it before now. So, we mean. You can see the O sound, short E sound, M sound, short E sound, and then a sound. You combine them and you get women, not anything else. You might have been calling it before now. Then number two is, in British English they call it bath, but in American English they call it bath. So you can see the way the word is pronounced in the two different nationalities, or that is in the British English and then in the American English. So the two pronunciations are correct based on the one you choose to use and the nationality you prefer when you are speaking. Number three is price. Price, we have here price. Some people do call this word price. Please, the C here is not pronounced as sound, but it's pronounced as sound. That is why you must be very careful with how you pronounce words of the English language so that you don't make blunder of your speech or your presentation anytime you are speaking to an audience or you are discussing, having a conversation with someone. You must be very careful on how you pronounce various words. If there are other ways you think that some of these words have been mispronounced by the society, which of course I may not be aware of, please write it down in the comment section so that it will help us know how to actually educate more people on how to pronounce this word and make it more personal for them. Number four is blood. You can see the transcription. When zoomed, you can see it. B, but sound, la sound, a sound, and the sound. When combined, you have blood, not blood. Some people, in fact, so many people call it blood. Something like blood. I don't know how they say it, but it's something like blood of Jesus or whatever they are calling. Please, it's blood, not whatever else you might have been calling it before now. Let's go in our continuation. Number 5, king. That is king. I want to specifically pick out this word because it's something that a lot of people do make mistakes on pronouncing without even realizing it. You see, when they want to say king, they emphasize on the last G, thinking that is the best way to pronounce the word very correctly. In fact, they feel pride in calling out the G, which sounds as G in most words. Please note, the word king has no G attached to it in pronunciation. It only has ng sound at the ending, and that is what you see here as N with a kind of curve at the last leg. You can see the curve on the last leg. So that is, we say king and not king. King and not king. No g, but king. So we have k sound, short e sound, e, and making it king, king. Other words of this nature include sing. You say, most people say sing me a song. Please, it's wrong. You say, sing me a song. Sing me a song. Another is also song. So it's song, not song. There is no g in such pronunciations. Note, anytime you want to pronounce any of these words that have ng at the ending, most of the time they are called ng. The last ng is called ng. Even in the word strong, you have ng. Although when you want to make it, you want to place the comparison aspect of it, that is, you say strong, stronger. That second pronunciation takes the sound. But the first one does not include it, since there is why does it take the sound? Most likely because of the er at the ending. Er at the ending. So note it, but not all words that have that ng at the ending. And then when you want to make comparison or show degree, you place er to give g for the g. It's not all the words. Next is sponge. 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 This is another word that a lot of people make a mistake in, especially when they want to call out the consonant sound, G. Most people do call it sponge, sponge. I don't know where it came from, the ch sound. I don't know where we can get it from this word. You can see sponge. Even a novice could know that this is either G or G. Why not even call it spong? It would even be understandable. Somebody can say, okay, there is a G sound there, there is a G there, or there is a G that makes G. But for you to say sponge, Chi sound is quite different. I have not seen a word where G, the letter G, gives out the sound chi. I have not seen it in English language. So maybe it exists, but I have not seen it. Of course, it doesn't exist. That's what I simply mean. Because it's not boasting, but I have seen virtually all the words of the English language and how they are pronounced. I am not trying to say I know everything, or you should understand what I mean. So it doesn't simply exist. That is all. Next is number 7, story. 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 So you say story, not story, as some people call it, or rather, so many people call it, especially over here. So you should take note of the word story. Whenever you want to pronounce it, it is story, or not o, as so many people say. When they want to say, tell me a story, they say, tell me a story. Please, it's not a story, it's a story. Or sound, long or sound. That is the pronunciation. Thank you. Number 8 is regime. Regime. Can you see it? So you don't say this government regime, as so many people say. You rather say regime, 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 regime. The sound here is pronounced as J, not G. J, not G. CG here. Let's take it. CG here. That is this one. But this other one is J, J, as in pleasure, pleasure, measure, leisure, and so on. But G, as in judge, jog, and so on. So note the difference. You don't combine sounds whenever you're pronouncing words. That is why we call it pronunciation. You give out the right sounds in your every word pronunciation, and that makes you a professional at what you do. Please try practice it. Try infuse it. Try use it every time you want to make a sentence that involves any of these words. It's very much important. It's worthy of note, and that is what makes you a great speaker. That's what makes you a great user of the English language, and that's what makes you speak like a pro whenever you are using the English language. Number 9 is worm. Number 9 is worm. So you say you have WORM giving you worm, not, I don't know what people call it, but I try and say what I think. I mean, what I know, so many people do call it. Let me attempt pronouncing it the way they do. They say warm, warm. Please, there is nothing like warm with this word. WORM. If you say warm, you actually mean the word WARM. That is what gives warm, not this one. So please take note of it. This is pronounced, the OR here is pronounced as long sound, worm, 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 as in word, work, and so many other words that do have the long sound when they are pronounced. Okay. The word peace appearing here is a typing error. So I don't see it having any link with price. I mean, I don't see it as something, as a word that is difficult for anyone to pronounce. So people pronounce it perfectly when they speak, or in their speeches, or in their discussions, in their conversations. So I don't see any problem with that when people are using the English language and then pronouncing words of the English language. We also take another route in analyzing this, just to have a glimpse of it before we wrap up this lesson. Look, women, not women, but women. Have you seen that? Next is bath. Bath. Do you see that? That is British English, and then American English is bath. 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 Have you seen that? So American, then British. Not bath, as some people say. Some even call it bath. I don't know, bathe. Please, there is nothing like bathe with this word. And what bothers me about these pronunciations is that it is not even English novices that do pronounce these words in this order. It's people that we take to be professional, people that we take to be enlightened, that to be learned. I mean, classic people that do say all these things. We should be very much careful. If we must use English well, we need to learn how to pronounce every word of the English language correctly. So you do not say bat, bath, or bathe, or bathe, whatever, or bathe, as some people do call it. You simply say either bath or bath. That is it. Either American pronunciation or British pronunciation. Number 3, we have price. Clear diphthong sound. That is price. I, not press. This is not what I mean. Some people do call it price, as I have stated before. Some do call it prize. The C there is not pronounced as z, but s. Price, price. There is one word I know as prize, as a word that the word represents an award or a reward for something, a great achievement. That is spelled as Prize. Prize. That one is different from this word. When you mean the amount or particular value placed on something, when you want to give out money in exchange, you call it price. Price, that is the one in this number 3. That is the one. And that the way you pronounce it matters. And that is called price, not the other way around. Number 4 is blood. We have stated all this. Not blood or blood or whichever thing you might call it. It's simply blood. This is the silent O sound. Note it when you're pronouncing the word blood. Another is king. We've stated that. Ends with the NG. NG sound. The sound is anga, not not na. That is as in keen. As maybe some people do call it keen or any other thing. But what I hear over here most of the time is king. There is no g in the pronunciation, please. And it is not n. It's ng at the ending. So you say king. Our next slide, number 6, sponge. 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 Silent O sound for the vowel sound. And then the G sound, already stated. So you simply say, not spawn or spawn. Soft E at the ending. It's simply sponge, sponge, sponge. Note it. Next is story. British story. American also story. So not story or starry, whichever thing. It is long O sound, simple. Long O sound. The number 8 is regime, not regime. Correct. Soft sound, like in measure. We've stated that before. Worm, that is number 9. Worm, not warm. Correct. Central vowel sound. That is the long S sound. Finally, we have price. 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 Is it actually double here? Price. Oh, that's okay. So I believe from today onwards, you have to practice how to use every word of the English language correctly and appropriately when you are having your conversations. You pronounce such words and ensure that they are rightly pronounced, the sounds are placed where they are supposed to be, and you bring out the live meaning of such words through your pronunciations. Please, if you've been touched by this lesson, I say once again, drop your comment on how you feel, what you've learned. In fact, tell me the new word you have learned how to pronounce today. In fact, tell me the word you have learned how to pronounce from these 10 words. Write it down in the comment section. See you next time. Bye.